we going tonight? Welcome to the second AMA session. Ask Mish anything. Feel free to ask me anything you like. Hot topic for tonight is hackathons. Hey Adam, hey Michael, C245, thanks for the follow. Adam's doing well. Yeah, I'm doing good too. Who else we got here? Wingman Inc. What's up? I love it how you say what's up to Stream Elements and my bot. Nice work. I hope, is everyone surviving right now? COVID phobia, how are you? Thank you so much for dropping into the chat. Our hot topic tonight is hackathons. But first of all, I want to make sure everyone's actually surviving at the moment because it is a little crazy right now with everything happening. Just hanging in there, says Adam. Blair! Hey Blair, how are you? Good to see you, Blair. Thanks so much for dropping by. Blair will be featuring some of your stuff tonight on the channel as well. You're excited. Yay, it's so good to have you here. Have we got any first-time Twitch users here? Sometimes at these AMA sessions, I often get people who haven't used Twitch before signing up and jumping in. Oh, Michael, you. Okay, which? Oh yes, Michael, you came from LinkedIn. Yes, so good to have you here. How have you found Twitch so far? The good old Twitch platform. Maybe total noob, Adam. You'll be fine. This is what we're all here for, right? To have fun and interact together and be excited and show off some cool stuff that's happening. Yeah. So far, so good. Yay. Luckily, if you've got any kind of like experience with tech, it's a pretty intuitive platform. But what you guys can also do, which not everyone knows straight off the bat, yeah, we've got a really nice supportive community here, so anything you kind of ask, I'll be all like really cool for you. But right off the bat, down in the bottom, like you'll see like my little window of the video come up, and down the bottom you'll see like a pause button and a mute button. And then if you go across to the opposite side of the video, you'll see settings, cast, so you can obviously cast it to a device. But there's this like theater mode and full screen, and then there's a little button down there that says clip. So you can actually like clip bits of the video that you like. So if you're like, wow, that was a great shout out for our hackathon, or that piece of info Mish talked about on SoundCloud was super informative, and you can like clip it and then it stays on the internet forever. Dun dun dun. So with Twitch VODs, if you're not an affiliate, you only get your VOD for like 7 days. Seems targeted, but it's just good because so once you finish a recording on Twitch, if you enable VODs, which mine are, so you can go and rewatch the recording, they only stay around for 14 days maximum, but clips, so like little bits of info you take from the stream, stay around forever. So if you want to be like, yo, this is like streamer shouting out our first hackathon that we did, like, and then you like go to the link, you're like, oh, it's not here anymore, and then you can have like a thing of it and have it like sitting around forever. Hey Eddie, how are you? What's going on? So you'll see also like Twitch works in different ways, so you can follow me, you can subscribe to me. People who've been around longer get like points and stuff. It's kind of a weird kind of system it works, but that's just how Twitch works for those people who haven't been here. But for all you newbies, welcome, and feel free just to put comments in the chat, ask anything you want, even if it's to do with Twitch or like how do I do something, whatever. We're all here for you. So yay. So who's ready to hear about hackathons? Lots of hackathons. We usually start with a hot topic, and then what's that little cup? Oh yeah, this thing, it's called a cheers cup. So every time I get a new follower, a new follower, or a cheer, or like someone gives me like bits or cheers, which is like Twitch's currency, or a new subscription, this little jar fills up. And then you can like see it overflow. It's just kind of another interactive way we can have Hey, Nanotech HQ, what up? How are you going? When am I streaming some more codes? So, on Tuesday, yesterday. Oh my gosh, it was yesterday. Today's Wednesday, right? Yes, it is Wednesday. In Australia anyway. So yesterday we started off on the AWS Deep Racer, and then Friday we're going to continue the Deep Racer stream and actually program the model and choose our model and deploy our model. So come along for that. That's going to be really fun. 2 p.m. on Friday, Australian Eastern Daylight Time. And then I found out something really cool today that I'm going to do for next week's coding stream, and I'm really excited. So I'm not going to reveal it now. You can wait. So so Eddie's already asking questions. So yes, cool. So basically we start with a hot topic. So we're going to talk about hackathon style with it, and often it'll bring on a stream of other questions. So feel free to ask questions about that, or you just ask questions about like literally anything. Hi Dancing Goddess, how are you? Alright, so a hackathon is, I even like did a little like thing. Oh yeah, for again, all the newbies, these little things, so if you type an exclamation mark in the chat, it'll do something. So mine says, so I just put an exclamation mark, which is like commands, so show you all the commands. So this one I've set up is like hackathons, actually no, it's just hackathon. So it's like, if I do that, it means a command will come up. So you can like type in random commands. So I've also got this one here, which means topics. So you can like look at all the topics that we talk about. But yeah, so cool. So hackathons, as I kind of say in my little short description, they're essentially competitions where people come together to solve a challenge. I was going to say a complex challenge, not always complex challenges, but to solve a challenge. And I say that particularly because I don't see things as problems. Yes, there are lots of problems, but we talk about them in terms of challenges, because challenges are things to be solved. So a bunch of people come together and solve a challenge or a problem, usually around a topic. That's kind of like the core or the basis of hackathons. Everything kind of stems from that. So you'll have hackathons, they can last anywhere between, I think the shortest one I've done is like 5 hours for a hackathon. And then the longest hackathon I've done, so I just love it, Wingman's. What's the SP velocity of an unladen swallow? The longest hackathon I've done is like 6 months, so there's like lots of different phases it goes through. So yeah, basically hackathons can be run in, they're usually short form, so what we usually look at as like 2 days or 2.5 days, 48 hours, and your team or yourself is posed with a problem. Usually work in teams because it gives a diverse perspective on the idea and the issue, and then that team works together to build something or to solve a problem or to like do stuff basically. The idea is around creation and like usually building something, and the reason it's called a hackathon, everyone's like, oh, do you like go and like hack into things? And it's like, no, we don't hack into stuff. But what does hack actually mean? So everyone's like, oh, you know, breaking into security. It's like, no. Yes, that is a use of hacking, but hacking literally refers to breaking down something into its components, parts, and changing it to do something different. So if we talk about computer hacking, you're breaking into a firewall or a system into its component parts so you can get in, and then you change it to do something else. So you change it to give you access, you change it to turn the crazy ass satellite stuff off, or you change it to like, you know, allow or to, you know, an add-in piece of information or something. So we talk about like hacking a problem. You'll often hear startups talk about, oh, we're just going to hack around the issue. And so hack around the issue is like, oh, shortcuts. Yeah, basically finding a shortcut. So hack around the problem, or just going to hack this, is like breaking down that problem into its component parts and finding a way to change it. And usually that means doing that quickly. And the kind of quick aspect comes from like back in the day where you're like, quick, you know, you got to break down this firewall before the security get onto you. Whereas now it's like we want solutions to problems. We want them fast. And the reason we want them fast is so you can iterate quickly on top of those solutions. And we still call it hack. Yeah, exactly. Hack is to build. So you break it down to its components parts and then build on top of it. So you build a problem, you build a solution, you build a piece of tech. And the reason why it's still called hacking as opposed to like anything else is, so yeah, as Eddie's saying, the athon comes from marathon. So that's why, you know, it usually goes for, you know, it's short form, but it's like a hackathon is like a 24-hour session in one block, or a 48-hour session, or 72, or like a 6-month one, which I've been involved in. But basically the idea of it is that, hack comes from, being able to build something and, build and iterate on that quickly. And the reason why you want to build something quickly, to be able to iterate on it quickly, is because you learn quicker from doing that. So you often see a lot of startups and stuff too. They'll be like, they'll call it like fail fast, fail hard, learn quickly, iterate. And you'll see it in tech, like continuous integration, continuous deployment. Like, people are continuously learning and building on the process. So even when like you finish the hackathon, you usually build on it too. And the reason we still call it hack is, and it's still kind of like techie, is because most solutions that people come up with, because of the day and age we're living in, is nearly always some sort of solution that is technologically enabled. So whether it's, like the NASA Space Apps hackathon that I did, it was like, find a way to propel astronauts around on Mars. It's like, okay, you're probably going to come up with some sort of tech solution for that. Or like someone created like a children's book and then put it in a digital platform. So there's usually some sort of digital or technological capability enabling it on the thing you build, because of the way our society is built so far. So before we get to a couple of the questions you've asked, I just wanted to touch on some of the hackathons that are currently happening right now. I've put that there for you. Get rid of TweetDeck. Okay, so first one is shameless kind of self-plug promo for the GitHub Hackathon, if you haven't been involved in it yet. So the GitHub Hackathon, we built this as a platform to do all kind of hackathons, but right now we're running GitHub Actions Hackathon. It's got 6 days, 23 hours, and 41 minutes, and now 0 seconds left for you to submit. And so what we want people to do is build an action, continuous integration, continuous deployment, but basically it's not just CI/CD, it's a autonomous model, so automating workflows. Hey Smurf Rain, how are you? Eddie's like, yay, GitHub. So we want everyone and anyone to build and submit an action. Essentially, it has to be new, so it has to be unique, it has to be built by you, it has to be open source. So for those people who are like more techie and codey, code enabled, this is a much more technical based hackathon. You can see some of the featured submissions, like check to see if a site is online or offline. This action notifies your contributions in the form of plants to Slack. I love that. So it's an integration with GitHub and Slack, which is pretty cool. Ask anyone to volunteer in issues. Receive the latest tag from a repo. Get the full pull request object at any given current commit. That was the reason, Eddie. We wanted all these things to be open source so that other people can use them. So all these actions here are usable. Really easy to get started. All you do is click login. Some people even created actions based off the learning lab we do, which is totally fine. So be open source, created after the start date is hackathons. Has to be new. It has to have a license file in it so you know that it can be open source. Has to actually, so this file is action files. It has to actually be in action. You can't submit something as non-action. Has to be owned by you, and you have to be the main author. So yay, so it's like picked up all my random things and you just click one and then like submit it. Obviously I'm not the primary user of these ones, so those are ones I did from my learning lab course. But yeah, really easy, super fun. Share it around, it's gonna be good. Now, what we're seeing with the coronavirus and people staying at home and working virtually and remotely, we're seeing people build ways to connect virtually. And we know that hackathons have been things. There's 2 types of hackathons. Mainly, one is like in person, where you just put everyone in a room, you tell them to form a team or form up teams, and you hack away in the one room, and you got this really cool vibe going on, and you have like breaks of snacks and like share your ideas and help other people out, and then you present usually your idea at the end of the 24 or 48 hours. That same or similar kind of thing can be replicated in virtual hackathons. So virtual hackathon is usually centered on like a theme or an issue, and then anyone around the entire world can log in, build a team, create something online, and then submit that. So a little bit more technologically enabled, but it still requires teams of not just coders and developers, but managers and business people and designers and artists and hustlers and all these kind of things. So it's really exciting to get all those different people together. So with that in mind, there's a couple of hackathons that have popped up specifically around the coronavirus. Domain experts. So Blair is like, we need domain experts. Yes, we totally need domain experts. Basically, the way I say it is like anyone. Yeah, so people that understand the problem. So we call them either need knowers, so they know the need, so they're either the people that have the problem, or we call them subject matter experts, which is what you'll probably hear at the media, or as Blair says, domain experts. So people who actually know and understand the issue. So for something like the coronavirus hackathon, anyone who understands any of the kind of issues they're talking about, which is anything around, not managers, trim the fat. Well, not necessarily managers, but like a team, someone with it. Because in a hackathon, you don't necessarily want just someone who manages the project, but you want that leader who kind of helps drive the direction. You're right, in a hackathon, I would usually say you want everyone working on the thing as opposed to just one person managing. But that doesn't mean that there shouldn't be someone with a kind of managerial role just to like check in and be like, how are we going with the code? How are we doing with this? How are we doing with that? How are we doing with design? And then like, here's my piece. And then like someone to kind of, it's more of a team leader as opposed to a manager in a hackathon sense. But yeah, so like with the coronavirus hackathon, it could be anyone in any kind of domain around this. So anyone who's got like experience working from home or, Michael, yeah, this could work for you. Totally virtual hackathon. So there's lots of different stuff, but you got to think about, again, lots of people come to me and they're like, Mish, I want to do a hackathon. I'm like, cool, that's great. Why? And they're like, what do you mean why? Like, everyone else is doing them and they seem to be like a cool thing. And I'm like, okay, figure out the why first, then come back to me, and then everything else that you do around the hackathon, the way it's structured, who's involved, types of sponsors, partners, how long it is, all those things, like who it is, all those things stem back to you why. So with a lot of hackathons happening right now, the why is pretty clear. It's like people want solutions and they want solutions now to be able to come up with ideas to combat some of the challenges that are, we're facing with the coronavirus, with staying home, with, keeping mentally fit, keeping physically active, all these kind of things. So this one here is fairly clear. So Eddie's hoping there'll be more. Well, I'm going to show you some of the virtual hackathons, Eddie. So one is GitHub hackathon. Keep that in the back of your mind. Next is Stay Home Hack. So Stay Home Hack is designed to come together, solve some of the challenges around working from home and living home. So I'm pretty sure this one, these ones have just literally just started. But this one is basically like a fully remote hackathon to help society stay connected, productive, and healthy. So essentially, it's like, you can see the scope for some hackathons are huge. So this one's really big, which is good. It's like, there's going to be I'm so excited to see the type of, and the range of ideas that are coming out of this. So what they've got little series of online events in Sydney, Melbourne, Brisbane, all leading up to the this main hackathon, which actually kicks off next week, 3rd to the 5th of April. So it's running from the Friday night, I believe. Blair, this is your hackathon, right? Feel free to jump in at any time. I think this is your one. But running from, I believe it's a Friday night. Sweet, this is yours, till the Sunday. We're also looking, yes, sorry, share links as we go, my bad. There you go. So Stay Home Hack. So whilst they're focusing on, I think for the first one, focusing kind of a little bit on Australia, it's global. So anyone can tune in from anywhere around the world with this one, which is pretty cool. But we're looking to host this, host a kickoff similar to the GitHub Actions Hackathon on Twitch. So that's my first question to you was, would that be something you'd be interested in, tuning in for a live kickoff to get you all reinvigorated and count down like we did to Actions on, then go, and then off you go. What do you think? What are you guys feeling? Oh yes, it's right there. Blair and the Stay Home Hackathon community. Or Stay Home Hack community. So that's Stay Home Hack. So let me know. Ooh, we'd love to see that. Okay, there we go, Blair. We have already done user testing. People want this. Cool, done. Sweet. Alright, cool. We will be hosting it on Twitch. We've got 1 week. Since I know a bunch of people, we should be able to do a bunch of promotion stuff. Blair, I'll start on that tomorrow morning for you. And we'll try and get that hosted on my Twitch channel and be awesome and bring out all the community in. Yay! So that's next weekend. Woo woo. Blair. Woo. Awesome. Alright, so that's that one. I'm going to close these as I go. Here is the GitHub Hackathon link. You needed that one. The next one is... Where did it go? Where did it go? Next one's on Twitter, so it's Hack Quarantine. I'm just going to find it again. Or Quarantine Hack. But I literally just tweeted it earlier today, so I'm just going to find it. Oh yeah, follow me on Twitter if you know it. There's all my socials. I did have all the links open, ready to go. I just retweeted it before. Quarantine hack. I searched hack. That's really dumb. Here we go. That's in Hudson recruitment walls. So this is a quarantine hack. Here we go. This is the website I was looking for. Oh, also, fun fact with the Stay Home Hackathon. It's built on GitHub Pages. I also might have a cool update for you there, Blair, so keep an eye out. So Hack Quarantine is another one. So it's already started. This one's going for a number of weeks. It's again a virtual global hackathon. Hang on, this is cool. Let's actually watch the live stream. They have like a constant live stream. It's really funny. Check this out. It's just like, I tuned into it earlier today. It's literally just this for 24 hours with a countdown on it. So if you need something to tune into while you're watching at home, or you just need some music, Hack Quarantine. But it's literally just this same song pretty much on repeat. With random Matrix stuff in the background. Oh, it's so funny. Alright. Oh, thank you for the follow, live stream Inception. Totally. Thanks so much for the follow. Let me see if I can try and say this. Alvarez Garcia Consolatra? Can I just call you Al? Or tell me how to say it? Oh man. I feel so terrible. I'm pretty sure I just butchered your name. I'm so sorry. Garcia Consolata. I'm sorry if I butchered your name, which I'm pretty sure I did. Okay, so Hack Quarantine's already started, and you can see there's a bunch of different things they've got coming up on their stream. So they've got close enough. Hey, wait. Adam's just like, I was like, hey, how do you know him? So there's a bunch of different things happening. I'm pretty sure this is programmed so it goes away, but they've got so working effectively remotely, which is really important for everyone right now. Web dev, Twilio, Unity, they've got a bunch of different things. This one, here we go. So this one's very much centered particularly around the coronavirus, and by working with medical professionals and industry people, work towards providing, so these are a bit more centered on the health outcomes, so providing health, remote working, and helping vulnerable populations. So little slightly more it's pronounced Alva Garcia Consolara. I'm just gonna say that. So I think this one you can even sign up now to dev post. I think you can jump in. Yeah, you can already register. So I'm pretty sure you can tune in anytime with this hackathon. But there's it's running for like 20 days straight, and you have like 18 more days to submit this as well. So yeah, so they have a bunch of different people supporting people. So some hackathons will work like this, where I'll just be like stay home hack, and I'll just pose one problem, one big like overarching problem, and then you go and choose whatever issue or challenge that you want to solve within that. Other hackathons will have tracks like this one has. So this one has tracks set up. So you choose a track that you want to do, and these are some pretty standard things that people are experiencing right now. So supporting people who are in quarantine, technology and health, remote working, and improving awareness and behavior. So these ones are all a bit more focused, but still broad enough that people can choose different ideas. So one of the key things you want to do when you do hackathons is that you don't want to narrow people so closely down that you can only get like one outcome, or that you've narrowed people down into a box so much that they can't be creative or innovative outside of this square. So essentially, I was running a hackathon, and the hackathon was like the challenge. There was only one challenge, and I just dropped in to help, and I was like, how are these people supposed to solve this? And it was literally build an awareness and marketing campaign to show X people, I'm not going to say who, to show people living in this area that water restrictions and water safety is a big problem. And it was like, it's so narrow and focused that no one's got, much room to like kind of wriggle. Like, to their credit, they came up with some cool ideas, but it was very narrow and focused, so much so that a bunch of teams actually left because they're like, well, this is not what a hackathon is. We're not just designing, marketing campaigns for people to implement. So essentially that's what they've done. So you really want to be careful when you do a hackathon. Who is the audience you want to target, and what are you providing for them? So with stuff like Hack Quarantine or Stay Home Hack, the idea is that you are essentially providing people a platform to do social good. And because of that, people are always going to be much more susceptible to participating. So we've got random hacks of kindness. There's a whole bunch of other like social good hackathons, tech for good, all those kind of things, who people would literally just get involved in for social good reasons. But other hackathons, like for example, the GitHub hackathon, it was designed to encourage the use of open source, which is again kind of social good, but we incentivize people by giving out swag. Other hackathons incentivize people by like cash prizes or winning stuff to help promote your business, or like whatever it happens to be. To just think about what you're doing. Like, don't be that company that designs a hackathon to get random university kids and developers into your hackathon to solve your company problems. Like, if you want to do that and you want to solve your company challenges, do an internal hackathon. Like, use your internal resources to do that. Don't just like get other people to do it for you. Even if like the prize is like 5-10K, it's still not worth people's time showing up to do all this work that you can't or just don't want to do. So key thing to note. So Adam's saying, are hackathons online or physical meetup spaces? So two things. One is sometimes they happen online. So all of the ones we're talking about now, the quarantine hack, stay home, GitHub Actions hack, they're all virtual. They're all online. Call for Code, IBM's hackathon, all online. But there's a lot of hackathons we run in person as well. And there's a huge advantage to running something in person. It means that you get everyone in a room and you're all like vibing away, and you can feel the atmosphere, and you're like, yeah, everyone around me is coding. This is so cool. I'm feeling like the vibe and the atmosphere. This is great. And you feel really invigorated. But it's really only short term. And because the reason it's short term is A, venue hire, but B, people can't sustain that for a long time. Whereas on the flip side, the advantage of virtual hackathons is obviously anyone can tune in from anywhere around the world. All they need is an internet connection. And you can do them for longer because people can do them on their own time. So they're the kind of two differences, or the two main hackathons, and the two key differences between. There's a whole bunch of other differences, but the two key ones. And then Michael's saying, what happens at the end of the hackathon? That's a good question, and it always depends on the hackathon itself. So some hackathons, people come along literally just to have a good time, to hack with people they know, and that's sort of more conducive to like the technology ones. People just want to take some time out and just like, work on a new project for their CV or like build something cool. And Eddie's like, they're both good fun. Exactly right. Like I enjoy virtual hackathons and I enjoy in-person hackathons for different reasons. Some people just come to a hackathon just to like have a good time or to like meet cool people or to learn from cool people, and they don't care about what the actual outcome is. Other people really care about the outcome, so they're there to push their business or push their startup or get more knowledge or like practice pitching. But a lot of people are there like, I actually want to build this thing and do this stuff. And so by the end of the hackathon, I want to have built a working prototype that I can go and show to people. Another good example, let me find it and I'll share it on screen, is that often you can get, basically as Eddie's right, check the T's and C's for hackathons, see like who actually owns the stuff at the end. A lot of community-based hackathons, the people who build the stuff own it. If it's a corporate run hackathon, double check, because often the corporate will take your stuff, which is again, if basically I won't work with a corporate to run a hackathon if they're going to get people outside their business competing and then steal their all and then take the IP or own the IP. It's definitely not a thing. But like, for example, I don't know if I can find the post right now, but for example, at the end of a hackathon, you might have a working prototype that people then go and take and deploy. So there was a post that popped up on my LinkedIn today saying there was a hackathon that happened recently in Italy where some developers and techies repurposed a scuba diving mask as a coronavirus like incubator mask. So if you were infected, you could put this mask on, like full face mask, like a scuba diving helmet, and it would keep you completely incubated and isolated so you didn't pass it on to anyone else. It was designed out of a hackathon. It was techies, developers, medical staff, and also people who were really good at 3D CAD design. And they all came together and like kind of built that. I'm going to see if I can find it. Scuba mask coronavirus might come up. Stab in the dark. It just popped up on my feed earlier today. Let's see if I can find it. But like stuff like that. Other here we go. I think this is it. Engineers make ventilators, some snorkeling masks to combat coronavirus. If it's the same image, alright, let's see. I think this is it. Oh, and some of it's in Italian, so that's not great. This might be, oh yeah, this was it. So they built this, and somebody who had worked on it was in my LinkedIn network, and they had essentially given it to a patient in hospital, and it was working. So it's pretty cool. So this was something that came out of a hackathon. I was like, sweet. There's also a list of companies who have come out of hackathons. Hey Monaro, how are you? I was list of companies that have literally been built out of hackathons. So there's always lots of different outcomes at the end of a hackathon. So it really depends on what you're there for, what the hackathon is designed to do, who is running it, because who is running it can also dictate where it goes. Because often people who are running it are investors or people who can actually implement the product, which I've seen happen at hackathons, or also who's attending and judging. Often a lot of the judges will be startup investors, engineering companies, tech companies. So there's lots of different outcomes that I've seen at a hackathon. Some of them you can see. I actually wrote them on a blog post a little while ago. I'll share it with you. But some of the outcomes I've seen is like people getting hired, people learning more they learned in their university course in like 2 days, people building companies, people networking with people gaining contacts, people getting fundraising, people finding co-founders, people finding new business partners, like so many different outcomes of hackathons, which I get really excited about, clearly. So yeah, let me find this post that I wrote a little while ago. I wrote it on like why you would run a hackathon and also some of the outcomes of a hackathon. Let me find it. And then I'm going to scroll back up and check in on those other questions that have come through. I've done lots of posts on hackathons. That's awesome. The Hackathon Queen. Yeah, the Hackathon Queen's my bot. I've also noticed the Hackathon Queen, which is kind of fun. Here we go. So this is a short post I did a little while back. It's a little bit old now. Some things have changed a little bit. But on like people getting hired, people finding startup like startups to do, and also like spinning off a new business or starting a business. So yeah, there's that post there that I did a little while ago on like hackathons and outcomes and things like that, which is really cool. Also, if you want to read a little bit more, it's all good, Manara. I was slightly late because we were celebrating virtual drinks. One of our colleagues who was getting married on the weekend, and now only has 5 people at his wedding ceremony. Him, his bride, well, his soon-to-be wife, the celebrant, and the 2 witnesses, and 5 people at the wedding. Love it. It's gonna be great. Magazine. So I did a write-up in the Australian Business Forum when I got Entrepreneur of the Year last year. That was very exciting. So I did a write-up on a whole bunch of things around like running hackathons and stuff like that. So let me see if I can find it. Okay, here's all their magazines. I think it was like, I'll just allow the stupid cookies. Allow the cookies into my site. Sounds very morbid. Every time I talk on stream, I talk about food and I get really hungry. I really need to stop doing that. So I just said cookies and now I'm like thinking of like choc chip cookies and like yumminess. Oh no, not the cookies. A gym boot camp and then they could have 10 people. I think they're pretty happy only having a few people, so. Alright, let me see if we can find this. Oh yeah, it was in one of these issues. I don't know, people who do like online magazines often, now Monaro is posting up like donut cookies. Seriously, Monaro, that is not going to help at all. Oh, here we go. So this document on pages 26 and 27, I wrote an article on what can you learn from hosting a hackathon. So Michael, you would find this one really interesting because you're looking at hosting a hackathon. So yeah, so check that out. It's got a whole bunch of information on it. I'll do a little screen share just so you guys get a bit of a preview. Let's make it big. Whoa, it's huge. Yeah, so what can you learn from hosting a hackathon? By Michelle Mannery, the Hackathon Queen. So there's a bunch of stuff there. Top 5 benefits from running a hackathon. So check it out. There's a whole bunch of info on that, and yeah. Alright, so there's that. Also, one of my mates did this really good post. I think I'm actually in a different thing. Did a really good post on LinkedIn about some of the resources you can get from hackathons, so you can use hackathons. Oh, actually, the other hackathon I'm going to give a quick shout out to is Hack the Crisis. This is an online hackathon for coronavirus, specifically centered around Australia. It's coming, so check it out on LinkedIn. At the moment, the only stuff they've got is the LinkedIn, so I'm going to give them a quick shout out as well. Now, let me have a quick look. But basically, there's a bunch of online tools. So dev posts, which you've seen on here already. Project boards like Trello or GitHub project boards, any of those kind of things really help as well. to help you manage a hackathon. And yeah, there's like heaps of tools out there. Slack is another good one for communication. Discord, Google Hangouts, Zoom, whatever you use, like just use things to connect with people virtually, like you kind of already are doing remote work. Okay, now I've got to go back up to the top because people have asked a few questions. I've kind of talked about a little bit about hackathons. Feel free to keep asking questions about hackathons. I'm just going to go through some of the questions people asked. Alright, so also I will address Son of Evil. Missed all of the stream yesterday on Deep Racer. How does one get started learning machine learning? Oh, there's so many ways to get started. Depends on your learning style for machine learning. Or in terms of any kind of new learning. So whether you're doing coding or you're learning physics or science, whatever it happens to be, find a style of learning that suits you, and there's bound to be a course out there for it. So some people like, online courses where there's lots of video content they can listen in. Other people just like doing things. So, for coding, it's really good. There's heaps of like coding tutorials where you do the stuff as you go. Amazon Deep Racer or AWS Deep Racer is a really good one for learning machine learning. So tune into the stream on Friday, 2 p.m. Australian Eastern Daylight Time to check out Amazon Deep Racer Part 2, where we really go into the deployment, modeling, and programming of machine learning. Google Colab, Science Kit Learn, there's heaps of them. Actually, you know what? This is something I shared today as well on my Twitters. Again, follow me on Twitter. I've always got like heaps of good stuff that I'm sharing. But this one just came out. So again, focused around virtually learning. But Microsoft today or yesterday? Yesterday. Monaro, there you go, I got it. Now we both got it. So they just released this educational package for Minecraft. So basically you can go and like jump on and check out this like free stuff. So they've given you a whole lot of stuff you can explore in Minecraft to teach kids. So you can go and explore the ISS, which I think they've shown here, like one of the satellites. You can go and like see what it's like to be a marine biologist, and I don't know, what else do they say you can do in it? They basically just created worlds in, here we go. Explore renewable energy, marine biology, Greek history, and heaps more. So they've put this out. Is it hard to learn? It's not really that hard to learn. I mean, one place you can go for a lot of learning is Coursera. Coursera do a lot of free courses. I spelled it wrong. Coursera do a lot of free courses on like everything. So basically you do the course for free, and then if you want the certification, you pay to sit the exam. But basically you can find anything here. Stuff that's really good for coding, if you want to learn specifically coding. Coder Academy is a good one. It's for learning coding. There's so many of them out there. I'm going to share that Minecraft article with you all as well. But if you've got any kids or you're into Minecraft yourself, you can get this free educational content, or basically worlds, that you can download to use, because it's awesome. Alright, let's jump on to some of these questions up the top. I'm going to ignore some of the questions coming in just for the moment, just so we can get to the ones here. Alright, so let's see. I love it. Wingmaniac, what a machine. What don't I stream? I'm not very musically talented. So there you go. There's a fun fact for you. Cute Dancing Goddess on dinner break. Yay, so glad to have you on dinner break. Ask Mish anything. What's the meaning of life? 42. Pretty quick, easy. What's the SP velocity of an unladen swallow? Well, you've just said a swallow, but an unladen swallow. Basically, look up Monty Python and watch The Life of Brian if you haven't seen it. Love it. I love Son of Evil. Not very, implies you played to some extent. Also, why does my PlayStation keep randomly turning itself on? Sorry, but come on PlayStation, I don't need you right now. Wingman Inc. saying, ask a problem. Does it have to do IT or digital? Any kind of problem? You can theoretically ask any problem. Here's the topics kind of list that we've kind of got curated. So feel free to pick something from there. But as I said, people last week were asking like what my favorite Pokemon is. And like stuff like that. Bye, Eddie. Thank you again so much for tuning in on the chat before you have to go to work. I hope you have a lovely day. And thank you so much for your amazing words of wisdom during this as well. So thank you. Have a good day, Eddie. What other questions that we have before we kicked over? So yep, they're the topics, but ask anything you like. Feel free. If I don't want to answer, I will totally tell you. All right. Yep, Blair said we need to meet people. Yes, yes, yes. All right. Blair Hudson, as in the Blair Hudson recruitment. I actually can't answer that question. Blair, are you still around? I think you will need to answer that question. Because I don't know if you are. Okay, Adam's asking, when starting out on Twitch, what are a few channels or streams we're following? What are some learner mistakes, things you wish you had when you first started? Ooh, I love these kind of questions. Okay, Blair has just stated that everything is unrelated. Everything is African or European. Well, I don't know. Boom. Okay, when starting out on Twitch, the first important thing to know is literally just start. So that's the key thing. Really anything, D-trouble. Okay, I'm going to answer this Twitch question. It's a very important one because a lot of people are starting to stream at this time and they want some good information and tips and tricks and things. Okay, so the first thing to note is literally just start. Like, I was chatting to a friend about a year and a bit ago, maybe 2 years ago now, and she's like kind of gone semi-big time. Like, she's good. She's got a good channel and audience. And I remember talking to her and being like, she was all asking me like, oh, like, how do I get into Twitch? And like, I've been thinking about it for ages. I'm like, don't think, just do it. And she's like, what do you mean? I'm like, go home tonight, get on the computer, press the stream button, and just start. And she's like, okay, but I don't really have all this stuff kind of set up. It's like, to start out with, you don't need all this stuff. All you need is a half decent camera so that people can see you and a microphone. If you haven't got anything yet, this is what I recommend for when you're starting out. Basically, these aren't bad things, by the way. They're just like good starting products. So the Razer Siren X microphone, which I did have on me, like a second one that I could show you. So microphone, so you need like decent audio, and the Razer Kygo webcam. And then the webcam has like a little O-ring light on it. But those things are like perfect for starting streaming. Like, you don't need, everyone's like, oh, I need the green screen and I need the top of the line microphone, the top of the line camera, and like all the fancy lighting and everything. They get all set up and they've got this cool professional stream and no audience. So my thing is start from the beginning. So when I started, actually, it's really interesting. So Monaro has been here from the start, and a few other people have been here from the start. You can see my stream evolve over time. So I started, I didn't have a green screen, I didn't have all that. I literally just got a camera and a microphone and just got the OBS software. So I use OBS. There's different streaming platforms. This is the one I use. And because I'm using Stream Elements, I use OBS Stream Elements or Stream Elements OBS. So this is what I use. But you do need software to actually stream. Let's just be clear. The biggest thing is to, I followed 1 year, 9 months, 8 days. Oh yeah, wow. I've nearly hit my 2-year Twitch anniversary, guys. It's nearly been 2 years since we've been streaming on here. Wow. But that's OBS. So you do need to make sure you have decent software set up. So there's OBS Live, there's Streamlabs OBS, there's Split X, there's a few of them. Son of Evil's been here for a while as well. Wow, 1 year. Oh, you're nearly at 2 years, Son of Evil. So cool. I love it. You've been here for ages. Oh my gosh. You've actually been here longer than Monaro. So yeah, make sure you get your OBS set up and just test it out. Like the thing is, you're starting out. Like you're not gonna have hundreds of thousands of followers just watching him for your first stream. And actually put that in your first stream. Like first stream, testing things out. Let's see how this goes. And don't be afraid if your first stream is an epic failure. Like the tech doesn't work or you spend a while on stream, you know, fixing things up, because it's just like a business in that sense. Like you've just got to start. You've got to do the thing, make the mistakes and learn from it. Some of the things that I wish I had known back then is probably that there was like all these digital tech available to help me with my stream. So the way I found out about, you know, this little cup here, or, you know, the cool overlay there, or you know, random ass stuff, is because I just watched other streamers. Like this one, I remember seeing this for the first time and I was like, oh my gosh, what is that? Where is it? And how do I get one? And I saw another streamer with it and I was like, that is so cool, that thing you got. How do I get it? And they're like, oh, it's called Kappagen. Find it here. And I was like, oh, cool. So you go into other people's streams, you kind of like pick up what you like and then go from there. I'm lucky in the sense that I'm a bit of a Photoshop nut. Noon, it's a new word. I'm a bit of a Photoshop nut, so I created my own background graphics. I created like this little animated logo using After Effects. I got someone to do my, so you can see my emotes. So I got an artist to do my emotes. So the one that you see up there and all the ones that you use. Yeah, it's not laggy at least. I put it up to, I think I put it up to 2000. Yeah, I think, I put it on 1900. Oh, I can actually change the bit rate while I'm streaming. That's cool. Let's try it on 2000. But basically, ooh, you have graphic designer followers and gave me a source of very cheap emotes. Oh, that's so cool. You can also buy them from websites. Again, I found my emote artist by looking at other people's emotes and going, I like that style, and then looked at where they got theirs and then went from there. So I think that's a big key. Yay, Son of Evil got one. That's them. Aren't they cute? Custom emotes are definitely more expensive, so mine are like me, which are really kind of cool. I think I even got mine like printed into stickers because I'm always doing events and like other conferences and things like that, so I give out like stickers. There's like Chippy Me and a sticker. I just ordered a whole bunch more from Sticker Mule as well because they had a deal the other day on stickers. So I was like, go nuts, buy all the stickers. I think they're the only ones I have on me at the moment. But yeah, so but again, I didn't get emotes and cool overlays and things like that until I was like well into it. I made like a kind of basic background-y thing in Photoshop and just used that. Michael, where are my stickers? Well, I can't send anything at the moment because I'm off the office. Oh yeah, sorry, an emote is, see what Son of Evil's putting there? We know them as like emojis, but in Slack, Discord, and things like that, they're called emotes, but they're the same thing. They're basically an emoji. So for this is like an explosion of emojis, but we just call them emotes. I don't know why they call them emotes. I think because they're like more, I'm gonna say like more, actually I have no idea. Divinare's got most of them. But yeah, just emojis that are, I think I was gonna say maybe they're more customizable, so they call them emotes. But yeah, so and then other things to do is like find other cool people that you like and like follow them, like them, join them. What I often do is like find teams with like a really cool like mantra or motto. So there's like, this one's one of my teams. Twitch.tv/team/USDE. So this is one of my stream teams, which is like a focus on teams in the Oceania, or streamers in the Oceania region. So right now there's 98 members in the group, and there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Okay, there's 21 streamers on live. 21 streamers right now in the stream team who are live. So yeah, I think it's more emotive than just an emoji, so they call it an emote. Oh look, Monara's got it. An emote is to display emoticons openly, especially while acting. It is an entry in a text-based chat client, indicates an action instead, describes the words. So technically, everything that we're using, all the emojis we're using is technically emotes. So teams are like, in Twitch, you have like groups of people who get together. So if you scroll down just underneath my my stream title, like it's got AMA session, Ask Mish anything, today's topic, blah blah blah, and then below it's got category. So this category is science and tech, and next to it has team. It's got the live coders team there at the moment. So essentially, you like find people who are similar to you, and then you can build teams together. So you can join existing teams, like for example, this is my OCE team. So again, it's a team focused on people in the OCE or the Oceania region, and you can check it out, like, you know, join the conversation, we are OCE, you can buy like merch from them and stuff. And then there's like Monaro's put the link there, I'm just gonna use that. Thank you, Monaro. So I'm part of a few teams, so you can see up in the top corner up there, you can see like I've got stream teams, and it's changing like all the logos of the different stream teams are part of. So some teams will do stuff like this, like they'll have jerseys, but the whole idea of a team is that you support one another. So right now the live coders, there's lots of people in the live coder stream that's on the Northern Hemisphere side. So right now there's only 3 live coders, but there's 134 people in the team. And I'll say, like, you know, this stream is for people who are like this type of person, and you can find more information here. So the idea of a team is that it's a group of like-minded people who support each other when they're streaming. Teams will often have like a Discord server where they can all chat. Some teams will often organize big events. Like one of the teams I'm part of, Women's and also Generosity, organize big charity streams around the bushfire relief, and we literally, like, for Generosity, we made over $70,000, which is good. Oh, Wingman Inc. Can I tell us a little bit about each team you're part of? Sure. All right, I'm just going to start as I cycle through and just look at them. So Trident Esports is a esports team. I'm going to go into the game so I can like show you what each one is. So Trident Esports is an esports team that I became part of a little while ago while I was doing some content creation stuff for them. And they were like, yeah, we still want you to be around. This is awesome. You like promote a really cool attitude. And I was like, cool. So it's more an org than a team in terms of it's got professional players, streamers, a whole bunch of people that are part of it. You can buy jerseys. So we have players who compete in various games. So we have Counter-Strike, Dota, Fortnite, Hearthstone. Then we have some of the content creators here. So these are like the official ones. I'm more in like the community team. So yeah, these ones are more of a competitive team focused around the Oceania region, which is pretty cool. So I got to go along, like, cheer on all the games and stuff, which is awesome. Twitch Kittens. So Twitch Kittens is a massive stream team. So Trident has like maybe about like 15 people max. Twitch Kittens has like, I don't know. This is the official Twitch Kittens stream team, but there's also the Twitch Kittens community one, which I'm part of. I think there's something like a few thousand people. Yeah, there's 2,500 people in this one. So Twitch Kittens is a community that supports people by, like, you know, providing merch and overlays, and we have a Discord where we all chat, similar kind of thing. Like, we just kind of all get together and support one another. Thanks, Son of Evil, for dropping in. Yeah, go grab some dinner. I'm actually pretty hungry too. So Twitch Kittens has a range of really cool merch that we can wear on stream. We'll do raid sessions as well. So every day we'll have like a Twitch Kittens raid where one of the admin people will choose a streamer to raid, and then we'll all just go in and raid that streamer. Like, literally, like, you'll have like, you know, anywhere between like 15 and 100 people just rating your stream at once, and they're all coming like the Twitch kittens thing. It's like, yay, TK love. Just cool. So generosity is what the charity stream. Oh, that's the other thing. Like, a lot of teams organize charity stuff. So Twitch Kittens was the team I did the St. Jude charity stream with, and we made like I individually, like personally made over $1,000 US for kids with cancer. So Generosity is an Australian-based team, and they kind of came together specifically, not specifically, but they were really focused around the bushfires. So it's a team to basically not-for-profit that gives all their money to different charities. So they decided to do one for bushfires. I've spoken a bit about Team OCE. The women's team that I'm part of is an Australian and New Zealand stream team that's focused on women players and content creators. So it's a bit more focused than some of the other ones. And Ari's putting up all the links there. Cool. So we do a bunch of stuff. We have community events as well. We go to events like Girl Gamer. We do lots of fun stuff. We'll do charity events together. We'll do in-person events. We'll do cool stuff. Nazy, who started Women's, is like really cool. So if you haven't met or seen Nazy, she is a cool person to follow. Yay! Thanks for the follow, Eco Double Leg. Woot woot. You know Mike, we moved into Shield's house in Brunswick. Yeah. Well, Generosity, that's where I met you, Wingman Inc., when I was doing the Generosity stream at GG Easy. So yes, obviously we know each other. So I think that's all my teams. So we got Generosity, Trident. I'm just waiting for them to cycle through now. Twitch Kittens. We've got Team OCE. I just don't want to miss any of them. And Women's, and then Live Coders as well. I think there's one more. Live Coders, and that's it. So yes, you can thank Cheryl Lee for us meeting. Yay! Awesome! So yeah, so that's stream teams. So teams are like, groups of people that essentially like support one another while streaming. And it's really good. Like, it's a great community. Like in our Discord, if we have anything, it's just like, oh, has anyone found a way to do Capagen? Is anyone feeling, the effects of the coronavirus right now? Does anyone need a shout out? Women's, we held a, I couldn't get there because we had something else on, but there was a tabletop gaming session and everyone tuned in virtually for tabletop games. And yeah, it was really cool. So each team does like their own different things. It's really good. So yeah, some are situated around like the women's on gender, others are situated around region or type of thing you're streaming or like whatever. So yeah, how do I keep up with all the things I do? Time management, really good time management. I'm good at calendars and to-do lists. Saying that, I'm not flawless. I've dropped the ball on a few things. You just need to be as vigilant as you can though. And I think for me, the biggest thing is time management, delegation and prioritizing. So delegation was something I had to get used to because I was always like, I'm solo, I gotta do it all myself. Saying no is something I had to learn and get used to. I hate saying no to people. So apologies to anyone in my chat. I know there's a few of you who have like sent me emails like, hey, I really want to talk to you about this or this or this or this. It's like, I literally get those emails every single week, and I used to respond to everyone with that, yes, let's have a coffee meeting. And I was literally finding myself in coffee meetings like pretty much 24/7 or on phone calls, and I was like, I'm not getting the rest of my job done. I can't pay my bills. I can't pay my rent. I really want to help the community, but how do I not burn out? Because I was like burning out because I was just wanting to help everyone. And then you get to the point where you're like helping everyone so much, but you're not helping yourself, and so you burn out, and then you can't help anyone else. So it's just like crazy cycle. So then I was like, okay, how do I help everyone at the same time without being a huge burden on myself, but also giving back to the community? So that's why I started these AMA sessions. I've been wanting to do them for a while. And with the coronavirus, it kind of seemed like the perfect time because people still wanted to meet up. And I will still meet with everyone. I just can't say yes to everyone. So, yeah, I just was like, this is the perfect time to do them. And everyone's like tuning in, asking cool questions. So that's how I keep up with everything. And then, yeah, good time management. I do to-do lists like for daily tasks, weekly tasks, monthly tasks, yearly tasks. I also categorize my to-do list. So I have like to-do lists for like, you know, streaming, esports, GitHub, Rain. So like Rain scooters. So if you haven't seen my scooter, it's like the, but I have like, you know, to-do lists for all those things. I also have goals that I want to achieve in all areas of my life. So goals I want to achieve in a physical sense, like where I want to be like physically like fit and, you know, accomplishing things there. Where I want to be in like my job or career, where I want to be for like community, where I want to be like, I call it professionally. So like any kind of like awards that I want to win, or professional kind of development that I want to do, or just like basically the way you can achieve stuff is by really doing really good goal setting, and doing goal setting for all different parts of your life, not just like people are like, oh yeah, goal setting, cool, my job, and some people set goals for their like gym routines and that's about it. It's like, no, do it for everything. Like, you know, I have financial goals, I have social goals, like, you know, catch up with, you know, friends and family more, check in more. I have goals around, you know, my career and my professional life and my study and my intellectual development. Also like mental goals as well, like heaps of goals. Like do goals for everything and you find like you're way more successful. Hey Lex, how are you? What's been going on? AIURLEX. Lex 914. Nice to have you here. Alright, I'm gonna make sure. And Adam's right, you can't please everyone and you basically kill yourself trying. So don't try, like figure out how to make, you know, the best thing. So, you know, one of the things like that link that I put up earlier about the hackathons and like what you can get from running a hackathon yourself. The reason I did that was because it's good for promotion, which is like a side kind of thing. But the biggest thing was I kept getting asked about it all the time. And so I was like, why am I getting asked about this thing all the time? Why am I saying the same thing over and over and over again? I should just like, one of my old, I didn't actually work at GitHub when he was there, but one of the old GitHub bosses used to say, if you find yourself saying something more than twice or 3 times, put a URL on it, which means put it online where people can find it. And so that was one of the things I did today, is I put a URL on this because everyone was asking me, how do I work from home effectively? What are my tips and tricks? Like my family were ringing me up going, hey, you sound like really happy and like you're kind of surviving this pandemic. And I'm like, yeah, I kind of am. But also it's because I get to still see people just virtually, and I still do everything I was doing except going to events, but we're still running all the events virtually. So I put together this little it's kind of it's a longer form blog. According to the WordPress, it takes 10 minutes to read, but there's lots of pictures, you can scroll through it and hyperlinks and stuff like that. So basically, yeah, I wrote a blog on working from home because I was getting asked about it all the time. Alright, Wingman, before I get to that question, I'm just going to make sure I've answered all the other questions above. Adam, where's the stream button? It's different in each one, but usually OBS has a giant button down the bottom under controls that says start streaming. Oh, that's the other thing. Make sure you get your correct Twitch API stream key and then add that into OBS because you don't want to be streaming some random person's channel. Kind of random. To D-Trouble, you can totally ask anything, as I mentioned. I think we've... Hey Mish, what's your email? Text me or post here if you don't mind sending you finished transcript for our sesh. What? Down the bottom, if you scroll down underneath panels, this is something I do because people contact me. You can see like under Who is Mish, the banner, it says, come hang out, have fun. If you have business inquiries, email mish@mishmanners.com. So totally feel free to email me there. Monaro starting to do music streams. So I did do drums back in the day a while, and then I stopped because I couldn't practice because my dad was like, we're not buying a drum kit in this house. And I was like, but you used to be a drummer in a band. Like, why can't I have drum kits so I can practice? So it was a bit hard to practice. And then I did piano for a bit at school. I had like, lunchtime piano classes. I was never that great at it, like not good. Like my brother is so good at piano and he basically did no classes. He just taught himself with like the app where you see all the keys moving. And he's really good at listening to music and then playing it. So I'm not that musically talented. I can play like a tiny bit of bass guitar, except I would not trust myself to pick up a bass guitar right now. At all. Like my whole family is musical, right? When I say I'm not musical, like I can't even sing. Like I try to sing, like Monaro and Dana, if she's around, will remember some of our crazy random Disney nights streams where it gets to like 1 a.m. and I start going crazy and singing Disney songs, and I can't sing. So my whole family is very musically talented. My sister sings, like she's an alto singer. Sorry, a soprano. She's a soprano singer. I cannot play chopsticks. No. My brother, both my brothers and my dad all play guitar. Both my brothers play piano. My sister-in-law now plays, what does she play? She plays the harmonica and sings and plays the piano. So I'm like, really lucked out in the musically talented section here, guys. But it's okay. Like, I feel like, and people have said this to me, they're like, you know when you're like in a video game, you start off at the start of the game and for your character you get to choose all the stats? It's like I lucked out in all the stats of like professionalism, startups, esports, physical sport, like tons of crazy stuff as Michael's already pointed out, fingers and multipliers, and then I completely have like 0 points under like food Mish can eat, musically talented, is like there's nothing over here. So it's annoying, but I don't mind. It's annoying, but I also probably wouldn't have it any other way. Like I count myself lucky. I don't have too many crazy times ahead. Okay, so Wingman Inc. Who do I follow in the personal development field? Sounds like I'm practicing some different life goal setting. So one of my ones, 18 professionals, 18 entrepreneur. 2 esports. It's not a bad spread of skills, I'll give you that, but it's like literally 0 in edible foods and 0 musically talented. Oh my gosh, we've got a raid from Cody! Waka 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 waka. Thank you so much, Cooper Beardy. I said Cody, I meant Copper. I meant Copper Beardy. Hey Copper Beardy, thanks so much, Monaro, for the shout out. How are you? It's so good to see you. What were you playing? You were playing Just Chatting. What were you just chatting about? I want to hear. I want to hear all the chatsies. Yay! Welcome to the live, Curtis. Thank you so much for having me. You're awesome. What were you talking about? I'm assuming you were talking about some sort of tech stuff. We've just finished most of our hackathon chats and now we're kind of answering lots of random questions. Just random stuff to break the isolation. Nice. Actually, on my first AMA session, I read out a really nice message that someone sent me. I'm going to read it out again because it's really nice. And then I'm going to read out one that someone sent me last night. It's really, it's really beautiful and like kind of nice these times. Oh, I'm getting a little bit teary. I'm not going to tell you who it's from, but he said, and people who were here last time will remember this one. Hi, Michelle. That was a good show. I've seen online streaming talk shows done before, but not quite like this. To be frank, I have no real love for electronic sports. I feel cricket or football is my thing. However, I will tune in again, if not only to see you go on so passionately about something you so clearly, truly love. And in times like this, that is as great a gift as any. Cheers and good night. I was like, it's so lovely. And then one of my friends sent me this. So that was on a LinkedIn. And then one of my friends sent me this on Instagram last night. And I was like, again, signs of the times. It is so nice. Where is it? Hey Mish, thanks for streaming. I ended up just leaving it playing in the background half the time because it's just nice to have a familiar voice around while I'm stuck inside all the time. It makes such a big difference. I was like, oh, thanks for the follow. Oh, I'm gonna get this right. Saw Scoot. I hope I got that right. Yeah. I hope I got that right, Saw Scoot. Yeah, guys, who have rated from Copper Beauty's stream and Saw Scoot. Anyone, feel free to ask any questions. And I'm finishing up answering this last question, which was, who am I following and looking out for in like the personal development field? I like kind of look at some similar crossovers between personal and professional development. So I really like a lot of my mantras from life have been taken from Stephen Covey and Sean Covey. So if you haven't heard of them, 7 Habits for Highly Effective People, 7 Habits for Highly Effective Teens, 7 Habits for highly effective businesses. Like he goes into so much stuff, and a lot of the stuff that like I implemented back because I started working in business when I was 12, like helping out my parents, and I remember like learning all this stuff and kind of implementing it. So yeah, I totally like got involved in all that. Thank you so much, Adam, for enjoying the stream and coming in. And don't forget, Adam, it's really, really easy to connect SoundCloud. All you do is like go into SoundCloud, sign in with your Twitch user ID, and it should start playing through your Twitch channel and without worrying about royalty free. So thank you so much, Adam. If you have any issues, feel free to, drop it in at any kind of stream. I'm streaming pretty much every night. So Adam has just started streaming on Twitch, and he's doing DJ streams. So go give him a shout out. I will totally come and see you at some point. And we'll come and if you're on and you're playing DJ streams while I'm playing, I will totally come and raid you. That'd be great. So yes. Awesome times ahead. So yeah, 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens, Highly Effective People, Highly Effective Businesses. Really good. No. I didn't start my first business when I was 12. I've been working in business since I was 12. So what's a raid? Ooh, I like it. So a raid is basically what Copper Beardy just did. So basically, if you end up sticking around to the end of the stream, I will show you what happens. But basically, what happens at the end of a stream, we can choose a channel or a streamer to go and raid their stream. So we'll basically finish my stream and then head over to their stream and almost like not take over, but drop all the people who are watching me and viewing me. We drop them into their channel. It's a really good way to like support the community, which is why you work in streams, because I nearly always raid someone from my stream team, like one of my stream teams. It's a good way to find new people, and it's a good way to like meet other people who are really nice. So like, Copper Beardy has just dropped in like 10 people, 10 viewers into the raid. So yeah, which is really good. I don't know, Wingmanic. Hey, thanks for the follow. Stretch Master. Yay, there we go. Look at that. So yeah, 7 Habits by Stephen and Sean Covey is one of my go-tos. The other one I kind of base a lot of mantras off is How to Win Friends and Influence and People, which is very, very good read. I kind of read it and I was like, oh wow, I do a lot of these things already, but it's really, really good to like have a reinforcement, but also have some tips and tricks on like how to like do stuff. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, Wingman Inc. I rated Wingman's stream the other day, and I was like, alright guys, I'm just about to finish up, and then like everyone left, and I was like, no, come back, we're gonna raid new people. So sometimes you will find that people will just leave. Other times you'll find that you have lots of lurkers in the channel. So if you go raid, you might raid, like I got raided one night with like 97 viewers, but only like 3 or 4 of them were like active and chatting because the rest were just like in lurk mode, which is basically what my mate on Instagram did, which is just have the stream kind of going in the background to watch and like do things. But yeah, basically Manara is making dinner. So we basically answered all the current questions that have come through. So we've got no outstanding questions. So all the people who just rated or anyone else that's got like follow-up questions or anything, feel free to ask question. This is an AMA session. Ask Mish anything. There's like kind of some of the main topics that we kind of look at, but they don't have to be just situated on that. Like last week, people asking me what my favorite Pokemon was, which I couldn't quite answer because I have lots of favorite Pokemon. So feel free to ask like whatever you want. Somebody asked what last week. One person asked what video game character game was I most like and why. That was fun. I'm a baby streamer wingman. No, it's all good. You think? Oh yeah, I always answer everything. I scrolled back up and made sure I checked all the questions, but I don't want to just stop because we've answered everything. Like, you know, if people have like new questions or follow-up questions for any of the stuff we asked, so we spent a lot of the stream, the start of the stream talking about hackathons. So if you have any follow-up questions on hackathons, or any company hackathons around recruitment, why not we all looking into one? But lots of hackathons, actually not lots, there's a bunch of companies who run recruitment hackathons, which means, like, say for example, a tech company, I won't say names because, you know, we don't want to do things. So a tech company will hold a recruitment hackathon, and then they'll recruit like the winning team or the second team, and then like a few other people from the hackathon. So there's those kind of things for tech companies. And I know like two co-founders to my first company were both recruited to their company, like their tech company they were working at, through the hackathon that they went for. And now lots of companies are actually using hackathons to recruit, which is something I've been saying for a little while, and lots of companies are jumping on board. They're like, where do I find the best developers? I'm like, the best developers are at hackathons. You know why? Because they're there, they're giving up their own time, they're there to work on something they love, they clearly like technology, and then because they're at the hackathon, you can see them for every major skill level or skill area that you would employ for. So you get to see how they are technically, where they're capable of coding. You get to see how they work in a team, how they work under pressure, what their, you know, problem-solving skills are like, you know, how do they, you know, pivot and think about challenges and innovations. So, basically lots of companies are using hackathons as a way to recruit now, either running their own and having a recruitment hackathon and getting everyone to come in and then they recruit out of it, or by going to other people's hackathons and recruiting out of it. Oh, Irina6, how are you? How can I get better internet? Oh my gosh, that is such an interesting and very timely question. So lots of people notice that the NBN has like slowed down a little bit with everyone trying to connect to the internet while all working from home. So yes, this is an interesting times. Yeah. My thing, yeah, as Mara said, basically depends on country, but my thing was like, call up Telstra, who's like the major service provider here, and just be like, this is my current plan, this is my current speeds, what can I do to upgrade it? Often there won't be anything you can do to upgrade it because you're limited by the actual connection you have in the building. Like you probably don't have NBN, is like if you're asking for better internet, and is the best in my country. Cat 6 cable works. It does reduce some of the buffer and lag time. Better routers can help. Kicking people off the network if there's too many people on one network. So Irina, what provider are you with? Which country are you in? And what speeds are you on? I'm going to ask all those questions. And then while I ask that and you go on that, Wingman's going, oh, this might be a complicated. Love the design of my logo. Bottom right, it looks like a lot of thought. How do I come up with my HU data and then how does the streamer implement them? Okay. So this logo down the bottom is my logo. So Mish Manor's logo. I designed that logo myself. It's a triangle. And I actually got to write a blog post on this, which I haven't done yet. So, but my logo is a triangle. And the reason it's a triangle is because it's to symbolize the 3 key areas of technology in any kind of society, but also not just technology, 3 key areas of like business and innovation, but also the 3 key functions in a hackathon, and also the 3 key types of people you need to have in a room to have a hackathon be successful. So if you've got a triangle, basically if you've got a triangle, so if you've heard of the hacker, hustler, hipster, they're the 3 types of people you need for a hackathon. So hacker is obviously the technical codey person. Your hustler is your businessy person, and your hipster is your design person. Also within your hackathon, thank you, you like my voice, that's so nice. Also within a hackathon, you often need 3 different areas. So you often need an area of expertise, an area of tech, and then an area of like business, like someone who understands business, someone who understands tech, and then someone who understands the problem or the challenge. So there are 3 key areas. And then in society, or in, if you're thinking about innovation, there's 3 key areas to make innovation successful in any kind of society. So one, they don't have to be on any kind of point in the triangle. There's just 3 of them. So one point is startups. So startups and kind of innovative new companies often are the people and the companies that have the innovative, creative, problem-solving ideas. They're agile, they're flexible, they can pivot. They bring this new way of thinking and new stuff to the corner of the triangle. Another group you've got is big businesses and enterprise. The reason big businesses and enterprise are so key is because they've often got the brand recognition, the industry expertise because they've been doing something for so long, and the money to actually implement something. So you need them. The third part of the triangle that you need to actually do anything and be successful in innovation is university, NGO, not so much NGOs, but not for profit, sorry, but government organizations. So this on this side where you've got like universities and government, these are the people that provide the research. They provide new areas of knowledge, but they also provide the changes to legality and legislation to actually make the rest of the things flow. So to have innovation be successful in any kind of society, you need all 3 pieces of the triangle. So that's why my logo is a triangle. Now, in terms of actually making it all flashy and cool and awesome, that's something that I did myself in After Effects, and then you can add it into. So I built it as a just like a video file, and I built the file from start to finish and then backwards. So the logo goes from not being visible to being visible to slowly not visible and then not visible again. This is sexy. What the heck? I do have a good voice, thank you. So I built that logo file just once, and then you can import into OBS. In OBS, it's a source, so you click like the plus button, and then you go down to media source, and you just add the source in. So I added the MP4 file and added it in as a continuous loop. So that's how you get that. All right, so Irina, back to your question about internet. From Croatia, your lowest speed should be 100, but the highest was like 7. What? So are you supposed to get 100 down? You're only getting 7 because that's a bit crazy. Your internet should be around 50. Your average stream for internet should be 100, but it never is. Dude, that's dope for a triangle. Somebody clip that. Somebody clip my triangle explanation, please. So yeah, I think Irina, there's probably a problem with your for that kind of low speed. I'd be calling your service provider direct and be like, I've done the internet speed test. This is the speed I'm getting. This is the speed I should be getting. What is going wrong? That sounds very much like an ISP, so internet service provider problem there, because it shouldn't be